Shalom, shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Want to get a brother some credit? Go back to Africa. That's where I sourced this from.
Sources these writings are saying. Check the video out and I'll be back. Africa has perhaps hundreds of millions of people with this identity right now of being from the people of Israel. Does that mean they were from the 10 tribes? Likely not. We were taught by the historians and within our own traditions that when the Romans conquered Judea, a few hundred years after that the tribes of Israel went into exile, perhaps millions of Judeans were sold into slavery, into Africa, into Rome, deep into Africa. And if you look now, you're seeing people who are most likely the descendants of those slaves who kept true. I'd like to bring up a few specific examples because they're going to be game changers. One of them wrote letters to Israel when it became a state. And they said, we're Israelites out in Africa. You know, everyone laughed at them and they said, African Israelites, these people are just trying to jump on the first world country bandwagon. They're living in a third world country. They got nothing. We're coming to Israel. We got innovation, technology. So they're trying to get on this train because there's such a thing called the right of return. All descendants of the Jewish people from around the world are able to move to Israel. So they said we are also. And everyone kind of laughed at them, like I said. And a few people took it serious and went out there and started studying them, learned about their culture. And a professor from Duke University went out there and did DNA testing on them. And he showed not only do they share Semitic genes from people who were in Yemen and back to the Middle East, these gentlemen, a large percent of them, have the Y chromosome to be Kohanim, to be priests. Now, if anyone who doesn't know, a priest is a specific family clan of the nation of Israel who come from Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was the first priest. And anyone descended from Aaron has the status title priest. And we found that these men in this village in South Africa called Lemba, L-E-M-B-A, carry this genetic marker to let us know that they share the same as from the Sephardic and the Ashkenaz and the population of the people in Israel today.
Man, you could do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, he's going to say some very important things. This is them pretty much coming out and admitting that, so-called Negroes, at least, the African Americans, but we know Latinos and Native Americans are make up the 12 tribes of Israel, and they're coming out to admit that, which is Bible prophecy. This is really all leading up to Revelations 3:9. I'm not going to read it with this type of video, but you could go and read it yourself. Revelations 3 starting at 9, Revelations 2 starting at 9. So pretty much what's happening is they're trying, what they say the phrase is the cat is out the bag. So they're trying to say, okay, well, you guys is waking up to the truth. We can't conceal it and hide it no more. So yeah, you guys are Israelites, but you're the northern kingdom. You're the 10 lost tribes, as he was speaking about. So they're pretty much saying, yeah, we're still Judah. We're still the southern kingdom, but you guys is the northern kingdom. To kind of try to latch on to that salvation that's coming. Just kind of try to latch on to the promise of the kingdom that's coming. They're trying to latch on to it and hold on to it. But this is called getting ahead of the story. So the truth is coming out that the blacks are the true Israelites. So now they're trying to get ahead of the story, spin it by giving you some truth that you feel, but deceive you, so you have to be careful who you follow, who you watch, right? Because you could be deceived, So what they're trying to do is give you a little bit of truth, but mix it in with lies, So we don't accept this, pretty much. It looked like they finna come with some type of offer, and we don't accept it, and our reparations is gonna come from the Lord, and that comes with vengeance, And if you ever run into these guys and they get to saying that, ask them, what about vengeance? And are you saying that we should be deprived of our vengeance?
They share the same exact DNA marker. That's mind-blowing. So everyone kind of got humbled a little bit who laughed at that.
It's not for you to find a marker and say, look, their marker and DNA is similar to ours. It's the same exact one. No, you supposed to find a marker that goes back to the man Judah or the man Benjamin, Levi, ultimately to the man Jacob. So that's already going off right there. They just say, look, they shared the similar with us. Well, yeah, the Israelites are going to share a similar marker when you get DNA with the Edomites, because you got to remember Jacob and Esau came from the same mother and father.
And said, now what? Now what do we do about this? This could have tremendous implications. Another area in Africa you have something big happening is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million
And
of them.
remember, if you go through the channel, I did a video where I went through a museum and I seen, statues and different artifacts of the Igbo people, and I went into explaining that, so that's how it's the truth.
Also, Christians, like I spoke about before, how that could happen to the children of Israel very easily. But also, a lot of them are now coming out and converting back or adopting the rules of the Torah without all the paganism that they've been practicing for hundreds of years. There's been books written about it from scholars in Nigeria, from scholars from the Jewish people. And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the slaves...
So a lot of you guys got on us and you said, look, Deuteronomy 28 is not talking about the slave trade. A lot of you guys said that bullshit, right? Now, even their rabbis is admitting, hey, look, there was a slave trade, and look what he's about to say about it here in America.
A high percentage of them came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the...
Yeah, because the truth is coming out. Y'all already knew it. Why y'all didn't tell us if y'all already knew it, So don't be deceived.
Children of Israel, they're the Judeans. So what...
But now that we have found... I'm sorry for keep pausing it, but now that we done found out and the cat is out the bag, like they say, right? Now they want to get ahead of the story.
They just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there.
You hear that?
And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today, who are white, Caucasian people, came in a little bit later on. We know that some of the greatest sages of the transmission of the Torah were converts from Rome.
Yeah, he just told you. He just admitted. He said, look, they are the original Israelites. If we're the original, we're the Israelites right now. It doesn't change. And he said, look, maybe we are converts that came along later on. If you're a convert, you're not an Israelite by blood. We are Israelites by blood. The whole world's going to have to convert to our law, statutes, and commandments when we're getting the kingdom, because we're going to be in rulership and we're going to rule the earth with our law, statutes, and commandments, which is going to make the whole earth have to be converts. But we are the true Israelites by blood. I'll go back.
Caucasian people, and the answer is most likely there is. So what are they just trying to create of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans? So what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there. And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today, who are white, Caucasian people, came in a little bit later on. We know that some of the greatest sages of the transmission of the Torah were converts from Rome. You have a man named Onkelos who wrote a...
Hey, coming back with part 2. This ain't the only one. Salvation to the elect, Shalom. We get into the end times when these things start to be admitted, man. Revelations 3 and 9, right?